I'm happy not only because of the contract itself, but I'm happy just to sign because I'm looking forward to being with the St. Louis Cardinals for 6 more years and maybe longer. We have a good team, which can be a winner, and a great group of guys that I enjoy playing with. To my fans, I would like to say that I am happy to continue to play here, and I will do everything I can to bring the pennant to St. Louis. And finally, to my friends in the press, I still am Gary Templeton and will promise you some excitement in the years ahead, although I hope most of it will be on the field. Thank you.
How much work have you done over the off season to keep in shape? You ready to go?
Well, I can honestly say that this is the best shape that I've been in since I've signed the pro contract, and I picked up a little extra weight, and think I'm stronger, and I might have got a little bit faster because I did a lot of knotless work and on my legs and on my forearms and stuff. So I might be a little stronger and faster this year, and I might be able to do a little, maybe hit a few more home runs.
Well, we're ready. We wasn't expecting this, naturally, but it's not too bad. We'll be able to get everything in today that we wanted to. It'll be uncomfortable, to be sure, but we'll get it all in.
Last year was your first full year as manager, and things certainly went very, very well. As you look at 1980, there must be down inside of you a good deal of excitement.
Well, there is, and I'll tell you, down deep inside of those players, there's a good deal of excitement, too. I get the feeling that the addition of Bobby Bonds to our ball club, even though we lost Lou Brock, I think it gives them a good deal of faith in the ball club, because in losing Brock, it's a big loss, but we've got guys that can hit first and second, Templeton and Scotty, and I think the club knew that we needed somebody that could drive in some runs, and Bobby Bonds has a good history of that, and that's what we're hoping for, and I think because of it, they feel like that we might be able to go over the hump this time.
A lot of stickers on his suitcases, and I'm wondering, have you had a chance to visit with him and get a feel for him?
Well, the funny thing about Bobby, I thought it was really a good statement to come from the guy that made it. Gabe Paul, in remarks he made concerning the travels of Bobby Bonds, said, I was with the Yankees and I traded for Bobby Bonds, and I went to Cleveland and I traded for Bobby Bonds again. And so I use that as an example when we go around, and a guy of Gabe Paul's stature has that much confidence in Bobby Bonds. I think that all the rest of us well could have.
I've worked hard over the winter, and right now I'm not near as stiff as I was last year at the same time, so I think a lot of working out that I did on a knotless program there in St. Louis has helped me.
It'll be a disappointment if this team doesn't really contend.
It really will be. We've got, I'm really glad I'm on this ball club, because I'd hate facing the 8 hitters in our lineup, and we're going to score a lot of runs, and hopefully if the pitching can do the job that it's supposed to do, we should contend, if not win.
When you look at this lineup that the Cardinals are going to be able to put on the field, it must give a pitcher a rather nice feeling to know, well, maybe I can give up a run or two here and there.
Well, I talked to Bobby Bonds over the winter, and was asking him, how I felt about the ball club and things like that, and I said probably the only questionable part of our lineup will be our pitching. He says, hey, if you can keep them under 6 runs, we're going to score 7, so you'll be all right.
Opportunity to possibly get in the playoff World Series.
Yeah, you're glad to be back in the National League.
Well, I've been gone for 6 years, Mike, and it's going to be a challenge. I left a league that predominantly is a breaking ball league, and coming back to a fastball league, I think it's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to it.
You do like that fastball.
Well, I do, and it's going to be exciting to see as many as I think I'm going to see this year. I'm a dead fastball hitter, and the more they throw, the better I like it.
How about your speed? You still going to be able to steal 30 bases?
Well, I really haven't slowed down that much, Mike. I imagine since when I signed, I maybe lost, 2 steps. That's about all. I can still break under 10 in the 100-yard dash. So as far as my running ability, it's there, and it's going to be there for a few more years.
Have you set any goals for yourself, or are you just going to come in here and do the job any way it comes?
Well, you know, every year, Mike, I just set out with the idea to try to contribute. You know, I don't really set personal goals. You know, I figure if I'm healthy, I'm going to have a good year, and I think that's the most important thing for me to do is to stay healthy. If I'm healthy, then the good years seem to come. But the personal goals, I really don't set. I want to contribute. I want to help the ball club, and I figure if I can do one thing 162 times a year toward a win, I will have a good year.
Have you and George got that number straight yet?
Yeah, he won. You know, but you know, George had a good year wearing number 25, and he wants to keep it, and you know, it's fine with me. You know, I've had it for a lot of years, for 13 years in the big leagues, and I don't mind coming back and using a different number.
Everybody back off the field is not on the play and get two pitchers. First and second.
The only person I really feel sure in my mind, the way we're geared right now, the people that are here right now, you know that Tommy Herr is going to have to be on the ball club because, not have to be, but we want him here based on his background and simple fact that we really only have two infielders here that we feel like are capable of playing in the big leagues at this point in time. So I think Tommy Herr, you know, I read a lot of things about what's going on in his mind, but I think he could relax his mind and feel sure that he's going to be on our ball club.
Well, that's the rumor that's been floating around, you know, and that's nice to hear, though. I really hadn't had anyone come out and tell me that, but, you know, it makes me very excited. I think we have an exciting club, and I'm very happy to be a part of it.
Must be a little frustrating to you. You know, you've been the heir apparent for, 3 years now, I guess, and a guy by the name of Ken Obergefell got his nose in there and played awfully well a year ago.
Yeah, well, I had heard that future second baseman stuff for a lot of years, and, you know, I was believing it for a while there.
I guess that's always been the case. You know, everybody gets down on the pitching or harps on the pitching or whatever you want to say, but pitching is a big factor. And if the pitching can come through, of course you say we have the offense. That's kind of obvious. We'll be off and running.
Yeah, a lot of darts have been thrown at the bullpen last year, and not specifically you, because you had a pretty good year, but, you know, the bullpen in general. You think that's a fair assumption?
Well, you know, bullpen, you know, you have a lot of pressure on you at the time when you come into a game. If you're tied or one run down or two runs up or whatever, and if you falter, you know, of course, there's obviously going to be somebody come down on you. And that was the case, and I guess we're more aware of it this year than we were, but if you can go out there and keep everything intact and try to keep everything under control, you'll be all right. Of course, that's easier said than done, but the fact is you got to go out there and, you know, keep them from scoring that one or two runs and tying it up or going ahead.
No, it kind of helps me a little bit because I know there's somebody up in them stands on my side. The people of St. Louis are really simple, but to me it's always special to play in front of my folks.
Is there a thing on opening day where you really get a lot of butterflies, you really get nervous until you get the first ground ball or swing the bat for the first time?
Yeah, I guess it could be. That's the way it was with Myers and me. I'd be sitting there and all really hyper and everything, and you get the first ball hit you or something, and everything's, wow, it's all over now. Everything kick back and relax, and the first at bat, I might be a little excited about it, but I'm ready to play.
What time will you get up tomorrow? What time will you get to the ballpark? Will you get here early on a day like that?
I don't know if I'll get to sleep tonight.
At short, Ken Oberkfell at second, Keith Hernandez at first, Ted Simmons catching, Bobby Bonds in left, George Hendrick in right, Ken Reitz at third, Tony Scott in center, and the pitcher Bob Forsch, who was 0-1 this year. Last year was 11-11, and again, that's Del Maxville coaching at first, and Jack Kroll coaching at third. Mr. Templeton? Oh, yes. Ground ball, long throw, and beautiful work by DeJesus. Ken Oberkfell. At the moment, hit .344 last year at 210 base hits. But that is a fair ball, hits the bag. As a matter of fact, Buckner is still able to make the play, but he can't shovel that ball. Hits the bag. Base hit. At the end of 2, the Sox at Boston, no score. Simmons, 294 hit with his ball club at California. The on-deck man now is Bobby Bonds. Ball 3. Ball 4. Simmons walks on 4 pitches. That puts Bobby is hitting .286 at the moment. Last year at Cleveland, Bobby hit .275, had 25 homers, 85 runs batted in, and struck out 135 times.
And became the Suitcase Simpson of the 70s.
2 on, 2 out.
His big goal is to be the first guy to ever hit 400 homers and steal 400 bases.
Strike 1. Fly ball, left field. It is a base hit, played on the hop by Bittner, fumbles the ball, and a run comes in, and Bonds will take the extra base. Larry Bittner had a tough decision to make there. He was trying to make up his mind whether he had a chance to make the shoestring catch. Then he decided he better play it on the bounce. It was a very short, tricky hop, and it bounced out of his glove, and he had a little trouble finding the handle. Watch it now. So the Cardinals have a run as Hernandez, who got on base on a freak hit anyway, winds up scoring. Close. Very close. Bobby Bonds on second, nearly picked off. They're charging Bittner with an error, and they're giving ground ball. Taken on the short, tricky hop and fumbled by Hernandez. Another run in. Oh, boy. Another error. And another run. That makes it 2-0.
After a good workout yesterday, specifically for the purpose of trying to iron out some of those wrinkles.
Well, here's Reitz. Notoriously hot spring hitter. At the moment, he's hitting .441. He always hits big in the spring, Reitz. Fly ball very deep to left. Look out. It is caught. Ooh, boy. On the track near the vine. Out in left field now for St. Louis. That's Bobby Bonds. Tony Scott in center. And the right fielder is George Hendrick. Third base, Kenny Reitz. Terry Templeton at short. At second, there's Ken Oberkfell. And at first base, Keith Hernandez. Bob Force, the pitcher. And the catcher, Ted Simmons.
Inning. Pittsburgh, normally a slow starter, getting a lot of runs early today. Lead Montreal.
Hey, could be another one. Back she goes. Back. Hey! Right among the bleacher bum. Another home run for Ivan De Jesus. Woo, boy. And go. Score today of the Cubs 33, the Cardinals 28. Now here's Hendricks' catch. Hey, that's a nice shot from center field, isn't it, huh?
Great work by that camera crew, too.
So here's... Okay. That brings up Larry Bittner playing today in here. Sunday one time. There's a drive. Base hit. Base hit to center for Scott. Here comes Bob Force. Had a doubleheader with the San Francisco Giants. Ground ball. Tyson steps on second, throws to first, gets his double play, but the run comes in. But in a spot like that, of course, the Cubs are from Mike Tyson, who should be able to guess now with Force a little bit, because after all, he was his teammate. Men on first and second, with the pitcher following.
Another one of the ingredients about
2-2. Bang! So Tyson strikes out. Brings up Dennis. 4-2 last night. They're 9-3. They're on top. Billy Martin's having a little fun. Ball 2, no strikes. Ground ball, right of second. Base hit. So Simmons has a walk and a single now. Bobby Bonds, the left fielder, is up. Single. .0, huh? Ball 1, strike 1. Ball 2, 2-1. The note we have is that the Aussie in the audience, the subject of that sign we saw, that there's an Aussie in the audience, is a fellow by the name of Jeffrey Richardson from Melbourne seeing his first game. There's a very high foul ball. The wind is blowing it back into the playing area. Buck Buckner, Tyson are unable to handle it. No error. No play. Ups 2 runs, 3 hits. Two and two. Foul ball. 2 and 2. Bobby Bonds. Guess you could say he's been around a little bit.
And you would have figured at one time that he'd have been a giant forever. The way he came up and played and seemed to be a favorite out there. Boy, since he left them, he's had to check the hotel in the morning to find out what town he's in.
2 and 2. Old gag. What town were you in? Peoria. Vaudeville gag. Peoria, huh? Well, don't send your laundry out till after the second show. Two and two. Foul ball. Still 2 and 2. Well, Sunday out here, the Cubs and the Mets tried to prove that Vaudeville wasn't dead. But if they play that way today, sooner or later it's going to catch up with them, and they've had a couple of errors and a wild pitch already. It's a very high foul ball. Once again, Buckner's over, and it is just out of reach. 2 and 2. Well, you've seen it all before for this ball club. And the fellow next to him on our left in the picture, Red Schoendienst, is an all-time legend.
I think this is Red's 35th straight year in a big league uniform in one capacity or another.
High fly, very deep to left center, way back. The wind's got it. Back she goes. Say goodbye. It's way, way back in there. A home run for Bobby Bonds. Man, he popped that when he got it up in that jet stream, and that 22-mile-an-hour wind took it from there. So Bobby Bonds has his first home run of 1980. His 322nd of his major league career. Oh boy. Cardinals 5, Cubs 2. Here's George Hendrick. Ball 1. Safe on an error the last time up. There's a shot to left center. Base hit. It's going to be close at second. He is out. He had it made, but he went past the bag. And Tyson was able to put it on him. There's a break for the Cubs. Here's another look at it. As Hendrick. There's momentum.
Made the trade for Bonds if that move might not have taken place this year.
Pretty well hit, deep to right center. That's pretty well back there. It is gone. Kenny Reach, as we said, a notoriously talented spring hitter, has just hit an opposite field home run on the line to right center. That is his second home run of the year. Tony Scott. What if the Cardinals score 2 or 3 more here? It'll probably stimulate the Cubs to go out and win the game.
That ball's rolling in the gap, but the left fielder over to cut it. He's going to try to stretch it. The throw's going to be not in time. And a hustling leg double for the Cubs shortstop, Ivan de Jesus. Boy, you like the eyes on an extra base hit. Donnie Moore, former Cub, is throwing in the St. Louis bullpen. All right,
as a player. And when he found out that Kingman had a sore back, he really wanted in.
There's a drive out into deep right center, and it's going to come back off the wall to Lascano, who fires it in, but it won't be in time. And Forsch, who's always been a good hitting pitcher, gets a double. 6-6 tie, fourth inning. Line drive that'll bounce in front of Martin, and they will stop Forsch. Now the throw's been cut off. Had Ontiveros come up with that ball, they'd have had Templeton dead to rights at second base.
This is the new cutoff. When the ball was just hit just now for the play at first base for the out with the runner scoring.
Oh, absolutely, Jack. We're only in the fourth inning. I'll give them one run rather than.
Bonds had a hit and driven in a run in the first, hit a towering two-run homer in the third. Clear up on the catwalk, clear up past the hitting background. Fly ball center, that's going to drop. Templeton will score. Coming around to third is Simmons. 2 runs are in the inning. And Bobby Bonds has become a one-man gang here today. That's 4 RBIs for him.
He's fooled on the pitch. It's a high curveball. He hits it right on the end of the bat, and it's just a sinking fly ball into right center.
It seems like he really gets RBIs in bunches. Runner going, and he hit it through the vacated spot. Bittner will throw the ball into second base where Tyson is covering. Bonds was running with the pitch. That brought DeJesus out of his right field.
Yes, and with good power, which he did.
Drive to left. Bittner back. Won't get it. Comes back off the ivy with a big bounce. He's got to chase it now. Bonds in. Hendrick in. And a double for Reitz. Runs 10 and 11 score. Reitz with 3 RBI. Up the middle and 3 straight hits for DeJesus. We've got the fireworks.
That's right.
Look at this. Fly ball hit deep by Forsch. He knows it's gone. It's 12 rows up into right center.
As you mentioned, he's quite a hitter, along with a good pitcher.
That makes it 12-6. For the Redbirds, DeJesus for the Cubs. Well, Forsch. Oh, you talk about hitting with authority for a pitcher.
There's a ball well tagged. Forsch can go his 5 innings here to try to gain a victory for himself.
3 hits in this inning. Fly ball out into deep right center field. That ball's going to drop and go up into the ivy. Thompson scores. DeJesus going to try to make it 3. The throw will be late. A 3-base hit and an RBI. DeJesus is 4 for 4.
And the cycle.
That's right.
And the cycle.
Home run, double, single, and now a triple. And you talk about being hot. And look where he hit this ball.
He hit this ball well to right center. It's helped by the wind as far as he has possibly can in this ball game. And there's Ivan sliding into third base. The ball gets in between Reese's legs, but does not rise. Is Templeton lined up wrong for his left fielder, Bonds, who threw it to Templeton.
What Rennie Stennett did here about 5 years ago.
Yes. But let me tell you, he's got another record on hand that yours truly holds.
We'll get that from you in a moment because the inning has just ended up.
Minnesota 7, California 1. Fly ball deep to right. Look out now. It is a base hit. Jerry Martin can't make the play.
It's a ground rule double.
Going to wind up with a ground rule double because that one took
a bounce out of a ballpark.
I have never seen it.
And we got 3 innings left to play.
That's a ball. Walk the pitcher. Brings up the shortstop, Templeton. 1 for 4, a single. A run scored in the 4th inning. As the first man up in the ball game, Templeton was victimized by a foul.
We got some action in our pen also because the pitchers due up next. So Tidrow is loosening in the left field bullpen. O'Brien is one of the pitchers down there.
And Fulgham is warming up seriously, Milo.
He caught us both by surprise on that one, though, didn't he?
There's a soft base hit into center field. The runners had to hold up for just a second because it was one of those spinning liners, and it looked they pitched a 4-hitter against Pittsburgh and beat them 2-1.
Oh, that's a surprise. Well, Ivan told me on the pregame and the leadoff today that all he wanted to do was just keep swinging and get his base hits and help the club.
Well, the Cardinals certainly had some team success last year. And Mike Vail, a 500 hitter with 4 for 8 is up. That's a little close. Ooh, we had him swinging on 3-0. Had the green light, and it is just out of Simmons' reach. Ball 3, strike 1.
Do something to them right here.
Big swing, ball. Big swing, went for a bad pitch. Down by 3 with the bases full and 2 out, and Bill pitching change. He does not want a right-hander at this point to pitch to Buckner. So Fulgham came in and did his job. He faced one batter and struck him out. Long way to go. This ball game's a long way from over, but the Cubs should get something here. They need to get something here. As of today, in 39 at-bats. Come on, Larry. Ground ball. Looks like the 3rd out. Overkill throws, and Bittner is out to retire the side. But they're sawing wood and working hard, and they're climbing, and climbing. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors. A couple of men left at the end.
Right center, and going to be caught. Holy Toledo, what an effort by the rookie center fielder, Carlos Lascano. And this crowd is up all the way around. He just left his feet, and enjoy this one again, folks. Watch this. Knows he can't reach it, leaves his feet, dives, hangs on, and now let's look at him from behind. Look at this. Going over, knows that the arm isn't long enough. Leave those feet, grab that ball, and hang on. What a play by that, of course, by Tidrow. And it is the 5th walk of a Cardinal in the game. Bobby Bonds has been a thorn in our side. Single, 2-run homer, another hit. He's driven in 4 runs. Tidrow, the 5th Cub pitcher. The Cardinals have used 4 pitchers. Tidrow quick here. There's Suter. Just kind of watching the game without buying a ticket. Runs, huh? 12-11 Cardinals. Ooh, wind into right and going to drop in. Simmons will take a token turn at second, and that is all. Now, if he goes to Suter, and he's going to, this is one of those rare times when you see Bruce come in with his ball club on the short end, Jack.
Right.
The base is loaded, but that kind of goes with the territory of being a relief pitcher. That's a strike. Stay right. 1-2. 12-11. The 1-2. He struck him out. Suter just came in, threw a split-fingered fastball. The bottom dropped out. Let's see if that can give the Cubs a big lift here. And here's the pitch again. Watch this ball drop. Somebody pulled the plug on pitcher for the visiting Cardinals, Roy Thomas. No record, no saves. His 5th appearance, he's worked 3 and 2.
What's going on here? The season hasn't even officially started, and I'm already over 6.
There's a line drive out into left center. Ball well hit. Ball is gone. Line drive, home run. Got out of here before you could bat your eye. He just kept throwing him that lollipop, and Barry put. Woo, boy. Would you believe, folks, if we get a tie game? Now let's take another look at the home run. And, hey, that was a pretty good pitch as it turned out.
And that adds up to 12. Ground ball, right of second, base hit. Now look out for this guy. He can fly. He's liable to give it the try. And the new pitcher is Mark Littell. And guess who's going to bat? The one guy you want to see in the batter's box for the Cubs today, Mr. Ivan De Jesus.
Right, he's 5 for 5.
Wouldn't it be something?
I let you guys.
Kingman, the batter. What a setup for some heroics. There's a drive, left field, base hit. So Dave Kingman has singled. The winning run is on base. And let him. So Barry.
And here's where you'd like to win it.
Here we go. Well hit, deep to right center, way back. It's a grand slam. Home run. The ball game is all over as Barry Foote puts one in the seats in right center field. 4 runs over for the Cubs, who won this ball game 16-12 in one of the wildest, craziest, goofiest, most dramatic finishes this reporter has ever seen, nor has anyone else around here. Oh, brother! Barry Foote has just hit his second consecutive home run, a grand slammer. The ball game is all over. Oh, man. Let's look at this one again. Here it is, the climax of an uphill battle. The Cubs coming from a 12-6 deficit to win this ball game. Errors and a man left. And at the end of 2 full innings, the Cubs won, the Cardinals nothing.
You know, in our job, we use signs all the time. This means bunt. Well, that's good, Dick, but this means steal. Not bad, Whitey, but this means give us a light beer from Miller. Well, you know, light has 1/3 less calories than a regular beer, and it's less filling. Whitey, this means light tastes great. Hey, partner, you can say that again. I think I will.
Last night, Simmons crossed us up on that one. Remember, even crossed up Henderson. There's a bunt. Foul ball. Bunted foul on strike 3. So that's a strikeout. There goes the runner on the pitch out, and he is out. Cook and Kennedy has plenty of time to throw. Templeton, all he has to do is just let Nick slide into it. So he's out to throw away. Check swing, but it's strike 3. For one thing, I'd want the umpire to check the ball. Tony Scott leads off with an opposite side single through the left side in the Cardinal third, and that is hit number 3 in Pittsburgh. Well, he kept it away, but he kept it there so he could look at it, and he lines it down the left side. Fair ball. Run will score to tie it. And he's got thoughts about third base, and he will make it. Templeton had that play in front of him. Look at that way he went with that outside pitch. Then it spins over the line, goes into the corner. There's Scott scoring. Ball gave Kingman just a bit of trouble. Didn't elude him, but it didn't bounce out for him either. Then when he got it in, shot through the left side, base hit. Cardinals go in front. So 2 left-hand batters in a row. The opposite side went right with that pitch. It was over the outside corner, and we're going to get activity in the bullpen. It'll be Lynn McLaughlin. Runner going. Throw down will be not in time. He bounced it down there, and that enabled Oberkfell to get in with a stolen base. Got away with a long leadoff there. He had 1 foot on the carpet and 1 on the dirt, and that's usually a leadoff that gives you a pretty good jump. Off Gaylord Perry leading 1-0 in the third. Caught him looking. Got him going fishing again, and it's strikeout number 6. 3 up and for the Cardinals batting in the 4th. Terry Kennedy, who had a 1-out double, got out of the way. He said, okay, this one's back at you, but it went through the left side for a base hit. That is hit number 6 in the early going for the Cardinals. Runner going, throw down is going to be in time. Kelleher is nipped. Score it 2-4.
Kennedy making a fine throw. It's a low pitch. He didn't even look. The runner back at third, Martin. He fired to the second baseman, Oberfell, who put the tag on. I did. Bouncer by Bittner, who slipped. Bittner came toward the line and lost his footing, Lou. Yeah, that's when you... Then the natural turf, ground ball. I don't know whether Bittner would have really had a chance to feel the ball or not because of the great rivalry.
Yes, it is. Templeton sends one up the middle, a high bouncer. Vukovich will just come into second and stop there. So 2 straight hits. Joe Cunningham, nice to see you, pal. Good luck. 1 count. He doesn't. He swings away. Left field. Kingman can't get it. Sailed over his head. Vukovich will score. Templeton will be waved. And Oberkfell is in with a double, and it produces 2 Cardinal runs. Swings, and it sails over Kingman.
Well, Oberfell and all the left-handed hitters on the Cardinals have been going to the opposite field with Lamp. He has that little sinker. Oberfell, a little power behind that one, drove it over.
Strike 1 to Kennedy. Hendrick due up next. Fake to break didn't go. Fly ball. Left center, Martin there. Oberkfell will come in with the 5th Cardinal run. Sacrifice fly RBI. Bonders
thinking about rejoining.
Runner going. Blackwell's throw will not be in time. Threw it into the dirt, but Bonds had a tremendous jump, even with a lefty looking right at him.
Oh, yes. Watch this tremendous jump. And as soon as the leg is kicked up, he is off towards second base. And I don't believe even a good throw. He is already on his way up.
5-1, Cardinals. 5. So Figueroa strikes out. That's 5. There's the throw. And Kenny Boyer's out to fight about it.
What happened on
Well, talked very nicely, or he's going to be gone. Was Bruce will listen to him for just a few seconds, and that's all. He's gone. Well, we called that one. Bruce will let you say what you want to say, but when he's had enough, he will tell you, now that's enough. You've made your complaint, you've made your point. Now stop. And if you don't stop, He's got a short fuse, and he'll send you to a shower.
Well, Boyer's going to try to get his money's worth.
Well, he better, because it'll cost him.
Now John Kibler, who's the chief of the crew, is in to have a little word with him. Boyer don't want to leave before getting another shot at Bruce. All right. Barry Templeton, the batter. That's pretty well hit to left center. That's an extra base hit for Templeton. There's a break for the Cubs. All that interference call now. The throw to third. He is in there with his second triple and his fourth hit in this ball game.
What a day he's having.
Whew, boy. Barry Templeton, who had 19 triples last year, has 2 in this ball game, and he's 4 for 4 with 2 other singles as well.
He can run, and he hits a betweener. When he hits a betweener, you know it's a triple. As you mentioned, Jack, a number of triples that he had last year, he led the league in triples.
Well, that interference call was a big break for the Cubs.
If we can get that third out and keep Templeton.
Ball 1, strike 2. Cardinals have 10 hits. The Cubs a lonely 4. That's pretty well hit. Way back there. It is gone. A home run for Hernandez. Oh, boy.
Well, there was no doubt about it. He got all of it.
Well, this is his first 1980 home run in this ballpark. Number 2 for the year. And Bonds sends a fly ball to left. Ball 1, strike 2.
That's the first time he's laid off with that pitch today.
Vukovic has struck out 7, walked 1. He's looked very good. Catcher there, Terry Kennedy. Strike, there he goes. Again, he went for a low pitch. A little outside. Let's look at this one again.
Number 28, center fielder.
Went for a bad pitch. Jerry Martin.
What a competitor this guy is. He's 41, I believe, and what an athlete.
Vukovic gets a hand as he leaves here. Well, the last time I saw him, I visited the Yankee camp at Fort Lauderdale. Just seems like day before yesterday, really, and was spending some time down there and doing some interviews. And of course, you always walk up and have a little talk with Cott because he's one of the real gentlemen in the game.
He sure is.
Very friendly, and of course, anybody who's won 241 games, simply tiring. He's thrown a lot of pitches.
Bouncer on Tavares, as Templeton will get him by 3 steps. It didn't take Cott long to record his first out in the Cardinal uniform, 1 pitch.
Dave's had all kinds of trouble today with that bat. 2 strikeouts and a weak tap on an outside pitch.
Pete Vukovic just threw a heck of a ball game, Jack. You know, he's got 4 different pitches. He changed speeds on all 4. He's got great control, and he just gives us a lot of trouble.
That's a ground ball very deep short. A throw from left field by the shortstop. And this ball game was all over. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. Final score. Cardinals 8, Cubs 2. Back in a moment.
Arrived in St. Louis midway into the 1980 season, taking over a last-place club. He journeyed across the state where he left a winning Kansas City Royals organization and was given the job of rebuilding a Cardinal team that had been no better than a 500 club in the 70s.
I want to rely on all the coaches a lot. I'm a very opinionated man. I'm a Dutchman, hard-headed, and maybe sometimes I get opinionated too quick, but I want to tell you something. I'm going to talk to them coaches tomorrow afternoon for 3-4 hours. I'm going to pick their brains every day, When that ball game starts, it's me. I ain't gonna rely on it. I ain't gonna, after that game's over, if I lose, it's Whitey Herzog's. I lost, I won, or whatever. Cardinals won or Cardinals won. But I will pick their brains, and then we'll find out. But I will say this. I realize you have some names on your pitching staff that I don't. I watched the game today, you know, the first game, and I was listening to the second game. Marilyn and I were driving over, and I've got to ask for help from people right now. Hell, I've been with the designated hitter rule for 6-7 years, and if it gets down to a point where you guys think I screw up, it might take me 3-4 days to learn it because I am smart.
Outfielder George Orta. Darrell Porter. Outfielder Ricky Henderson. From the Seattle Mariners, pitcher Bruce Sutter. From the St. Louis Cardinals, outfielder George Hendrick. First baseman Keith Hernandez. St. Louis Cardinals, holder of the National League lifetime fielding record at his position, third baseman Ken Reitz. From the Houston Astros, the first right-hander in league history to strike out 300 batters in one season. Warming up in the bullpen, J.R.
United States. This is the man who carries one of the great gloves of baseball history at that position, Ken Reitz of the St. Louis. From the Houston Astros, James Rodney Richard. Richard with a record of 10-4. He comes in, however, after struggling in his last couple of starts. He has been experiencing stiffness in his right forearm. He uses the word fighter from this angle. Might have been it. If it was one of the quickest sliders known to mankind. That's right. Trap it. 3-2 coming. Bench chases him. He's out.
He wanted to fake it for a minute, and he decided he couldn't.
So the American League fails to score in the top half. It's Bill Russell and the pitcher spot for the National League. Tommy John is now warming up in the bullpen for the American League. He will follow Steve Stone. Stone has retired the first 6 National League hitters he's faced. Reitz at 282.
Got a kick out of something Tommy John said. He said, after they see Steve for 3 innings, I'll come on and look fast.
That's right. Little check swing, gets by Stone. Randolph hurries and throws him out. Parker of Pittsburgh, a .306 average for his bat. Good defensive man. In center field, George Hendrick of the St. Louis Cardinals. Now replacing Reggie Smith. George Hendrick, who has
Good ball game. An all-star game with all the substitutions.
Randolph will handle this one, maybe not. Reeds a slow runner, and then Willie throws it away. Kenny is on his way to second, but Porter backs up the play, throws down to Yount, and they nail him. So Reeds turned and didn't see Porter backing up alertly.
Well, there's a look at that last play. The ball actually kind of handcuffed Willie Randolph. He ran it into a short hop. It bounced off his leg. Then he had time to still get him, but he threw it down in the dirt by Cooper. But here's a great heads-up play by Darrell Porter. He's there to keep it from going in the dugout. A nice little one-hopper to Robin Yount. Says, come on, all I got to do is make the tag, and they get him by 20 feet.
American League 2, National League 1. And Darrell Porter comes up for the first time in the game, who made the alert play, backing up, looks at a strike, 0-1. And George Hendrick of the St. Louis Cardinals coming up there himself physically.
That's right. I saw Lee here in the press box prior to coming up into the booth tonight, and he said he hopes that he's going to be back pretty soon. We certainly hope so.
In the meantime, the National League is getting to Tommy John.
George Hendrick rips it into right center for a base hit. Maybe two. Ray Knight comes in to score. Garner will go to third. It's a long single, and the game is tied.
Down and away, he just goes right with it. A good shot up the alley, right center field. Tommy John, it will be.
The White Sox have enjoyed good success thus far this season. Would be that man who's been instrumental in 23 victories. He's won 6 himself and saved 17. The big right-hander Ed Farmer.
Get nobody. National League on top, 3-2.
Ran a difficult game for Willie.
They give him an error on that one. They gave him the error before when he threw it by Cooper, as Keith Hernandez bats for Steve Garvey and looks at the strike. His teammate Hendrick at second. Dave Winfield aboard at first. Hernandez hitting .323, co-MVP with Stargell last year and the batting champion. 1-1. One and two.
Boy, he's got a nice swing.
He's beautiful. National League batting leaders, of course, Reggie Smith started. Templeton is not here. If he's not starting, he's not departing, according to Gary. Cromartie's not here either. But Hernandez at the plate right now, tied for third. 2-2.
Of course, Farmer involved in that incident with Al Cowens, and the law courts now involved.
Fouled at the plate.
You hear a complaint, subsequently filed.
2-2 pitch. Got back off Farmer, and Yount will have to hold it as everybody is safe to load him up. Hernandez sharply back through the middle. Farmer just getting a piece of it. And Keith is aboard and happy.
That ball was hit hard. Howard, you talked about injuries in all-star games, and here could have been one here. Look at that ball. A line shot, and he just did get a glove on it. Now, Robin Yount's going over by the bag at second base. Has to stop.
How would you like to have Hendrick, Dave Kingman, and Steve Carlton win co-MVP? That'd be some press conference, wouldn't it?
I don't think you'd have any.
They send Garner, pitches outside, the throw going through. Line to center field, but Bunbury is there and makes the catch. The year-round. Bruce Sutter in the pitch, the winning pitcher in each of the last 2 All-Star games, will try to get the save in this one. He's there as the sole representative from the Oakland A's, Ricky Henderson. Good young outfielder. Keith Hernandez of the Cardinals takes a strike.
Well, his father taught him to hit. Did some job.
0-2 from the Bay Area. He and Kenny part of a pretty good offense when he gets into a slump, which is not very often.
Sun setting over the mountains, just beautiful.
Hernandez strokes it down the line and left, but fouled. I'm sure that if you played with him and watch him every day, why, you're really impressed. To left, Henderson moving in and makes the, did he? No. Jerry Dale out there to make the call. He had him called out, Al, if he holds on to it. But I think his impact, why, it rolled out of his glove. Excellent try by Henderson. That ball slicing and dying on him. He gets the glove on it. Little short hop. Yep. And there it rolls. American League winless in 71 and trailing 4-2 in the 9th inning, facing Bruce Sutter of the Cubs. Bouncer fielded in fair territory by Knight, and Ray guns him down. One away. Stretch will go from first with a pitch, and he gets him swinging. So the beat goes on and on and on. 9 straight, 17 of 18. The National League does it again. Well, we'll find out who the...
Well, our game almost got over before the other one that you've been watching got over, and ours started 2 hours later. But we do have quite an exciting baseball game going on here between the San Francisco Giants and the St. Louis Cardinals. Our game is all tied up 3-3, and the man at whom you're looking right now is Jim Otten, and he has just come on in relief of Sykes, the starting left-hander who went for the St. Louis Cardinals a total of 5 2/3 innings. The Giants of San Francisco would be leading had it not been for a sensational play just a few minutes ago. With pinch hitter Joe Strain at the plate, he dumps the ball out into right field, and with Johnny LeMaster running from second base, watch this play from George Hendrick, the right fielder, to Ted Simmons, the catcher, out at the plate. And Wes Parker, you can't open a telecast with a better play than that one.
The throw came in all the way in the air, and everyone knows.
North. Giants 3, Cardinals 3.
Then.
There's a drive into center field. It may fall. It does for a base hit. Let's see if this guy can throw from center field. They got him at the plate. He never reached home plate. Simmons jams the shoulder of Strain as he blocks him away from the plate. And the Cardinals get a man thrown out at the plate by Scott, a man thrown out by Hendrick, and the Giants have got to be frustrated. Strain is hurt. Let's watch it again.
Well, you got to really go a long way before you can see two guys get thrown out at home in the same inning, both the same type of play. Look at Simmons block him off. It looked like in both cases the runner would score, but Ted Simmons in each instance just blocked him off from the plate.
This is Keith Smith. With Mike Ivey at first base. He's the guy who quit in the middle of the season, and there's a line shot into center field, a base hit for Smith. To give you the kind of an idea of the kind of a year that Dave Bristol's had managing the Giants.
And apparently the people around here feel that he's been making too many errors out there at shortstop and just has not been playing the kind of ball that they were hoping he would. Of course, Roger Metzger, who he platooned with last year, had that accident over the winter.
Durham, one of the fine young players in baseball today. It's a bouncer to the third baseman, and Patini throws him out. Local station.
Had things in gear pretty well up until about a
hitter for the St. Louis Cardinals, and you're looking at Urea right there.
6'3", 205-pounder out of Los Angeles. He's a big strut. Littlefield has been outstanding for them, and Ken Seaman, who did do a fairly good job, has been sent back to the minor league. So they're looking for somebody who will be there.
And how could it be that cool anywhere? Clark bounces one deep in the hole. They won't get him here, I don't think. It was a fine try, but Phillips couldn't get it there. Jack Clark, a great hustler, gets an infield hit to start the 7th inning. USA's first game of the doubleheader. Kennett bangs one. Fair ball. Down into the corner. That's going to be good for 2 runs. Kenny Reitz, the third baseman of the Cardinals, might have gotten totally blocked off there. He did.
Nice pattern.
And he blew him right out of there. LeMaster down on strikes. Urea throwing hard.
Get a shot at LeMaster. He has just threw his hands up to the fans, threw his bat away. Look at this. He is not happy. The fans have been all over him, and he is not very happy about it.
Well, that's not helping his own cause either when he's urged 40-year-older. Be cold, cold, cold here with that fog off the ocean. Well, Lavelle doesn't make his living hitting, that's for sure. It's pretty bad.
Simmons has hit the ball hard 3 times. He's 2 for 3. And he hits a shot up the middle right here. That's 4 times tonight he has hit the ball on the nose. Twice left-handed, twice right-handed. Simmons came into the game hitting 300, so he'll move up. Boy, he is just a plain good hitter. There's no getting 4 behind him, but he's picked up 1 tonight. The Dodgers are idle. Fly ball into right center. Might be trouble. Long way to go. It drops for a base hit. Simmons around second. He'll try to score as he comes around third. No, they hold him up. And Hendrick holds up at second. Simmons had a shot at scoring. He held up a little bit to see him take the chance. Hendrick fought off that fastball and just drove it up the alley in right center.
They just don't quit coming back. This player in the Oakland A's organization and been traded around a little bit. Really, people, different ball clubs didn't like him because a lot of people felt he wasn't hustling all the time.
Lavelle relieving Al Hargesheimer, who started this ball game. Rookie brought up from the Phoenix AAA club of the Giants. Reeds. Fastball chopped up the middle. Simmons will score. LeMaster throws out Reeds, so it's 5-4. Hendrick moved over to third on the play, so with 2 outs, he is hoping somebody. Looked like a breaking ball that went down and away from him, and he was just really trying to make contact with a runner. He is 1 for 4. Line drive to right field. Base hit. Hendrick fires it in. 1 run will score. The other runners will hold. The bases will remain loaded. The Giants lead 6-4.
Boy, without any question of a doubt, in the minds of those who voted anyway, the best fielding pitcher during his era in there. I think he won the Gold Glove Award as the top defensive pitcher.
He won 21 in 20 games and 74 in 5. Ground ball to the first baseman. He'll come to the plate. He'll go back to first and get the double play. Boy, Durham made a nice play throwing to Simmons, and Simmons fired it right back to him. That is a very difficult 3-2-3 double play, and that'll help the Cardinals' chances as Cott comes in and really does a job. He's got 1 more to get, however.
Durham got rid of the ball in a hurry, and Simmons doesn't even have time really to step inside and get a better throwing angle. He threw the ball right down the line.
But career with an ERA of under 3, 6 of 7 times in the various leagues that he played in.
Conflicts with
line drive right at Reeds. So Littlefield gets out of this inning. He does a good job.
Cardinals are down by 2 runs. It's a pretty good horse to be able to bring up off the dugout steps. Speaking of horses and horse races, and speaking of a horse race, this guy was in one for the national strike. Boy, Hearn been wobbling a little out there, but he got it. You give a guy like Hernandez 4 strikes, he's going to get some. See the pitcher drop. Look at that, dropped it right out of his hands. Whoop! And there's a pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 3, got him. So Holland came out of there and made Dave Bristol look great as he got the strikeout that ended the ball game. And Cardinals 4. We'll have the wrap-up for you in just a moment.
At Atlanta with Necro going for his 10th win of the year will be at San Francisco. Well, the Cubs are pulling out all the stops in effort to get their good luck charms down here. They brought quite a number of people from the front office. Karen Stencil, who was Bobby. They brought him up from Springfield last year. And shortly after he got here, one of his first assistants. Temperature at game time, 78 degrees. Not much wind. There's ground ball right of second. Base hit. So Mr. Scott's on base. And that'll bring up first baseman Keith Hernandez. Safely in 10 out of 11. 1 for 3 last night for Keith. Hitting .312. 2 for 5 for him last night. That'll bring up Cliff Johnson.
Number 7, first baseman Cliff Johnson.
You know, that might be kind of a pitcher that could help you in September against certain clubs.
Pretty well hit, deep to right. It is foul. Is going to move in. 323 hitter, 21 home runs, 84 runs for McLaughlin. And Dane Orge, the left fielder, is up now. Once again, fly ball deep, back. Hey! Number 5 for Timmy. Hey, Tim Blackwell just popped it out of here, and the Cubs have them. You know, that's only the 3rd home run pitch by Martinez this year. 3rd Red Sox 2, the White Sox nothing. There's a drive, left field, base hit. And would you believe McLaughlin stays at second on this one? Not a question of whether he can score from second on a base hit to left. It's a question of whether he can even get to third. And the ball went out there so fast and was fielded so fast by Dane Orge that McLaughlin decided he better hold up. So, base hit. And there's a little action in the Cardinal bullpen. That's Urea warming up down there. There he is. Here's Billy Buck.
A lot with their group sales. They've done a good job with that. There is a ball knocked down by Tyson. Look at this effort, and he got him. Beautiful play by Tyson. Mike Tyson.
Pirates have been out for quite a while. They're still leading 2-1. They're batting the 4th.
Line drive, right field, base hit. Buckner plays it on one bound. So Templeton leads it off with a single in the Redbird 4th.
Now on all the 2 hitters I threw, I was going to have to be a little careful with them where I picked my spot.
Line drive hit into left field off Hernandez' bat. That's his stroke right there. That's the 3rd hit. The throw will be cut off. Now they're going to have the runner in a rundown, and they didn't have to run him down, but the run's
scoring, and now Randall trying to go to second, wants to stop, and he slips, and then he's tagged out by Templeton. So we have to wait for the ball like this. This ball hits in front of the plate, bounces on one hop. Look at Randall has to wait for the ball to come down, and then fires to Johnson, but he's hoping he gets down to that 9th on the right field line.
Lined and caught. Mike Tyson has been an acrobat here tonight. I'm telling you, the play he made on Oberkfell and Keats is out of the game. Ramsey is the new second baseman, and the new pitcher is John Urea. And to tell you about him and go on here we go with Jack and Lou.
All right. Cubs out in front, 4-0. They about hit the Cardinals.
Present time. So this is the same setup when Dave went to right field. There he went, tried to, but he grounds out to the shortstop.
So that's the first. This is their 113th game. Ground ball. DeJesus gobbles it up and throws. Safe to throw. Pull Johnson off the bag, says Tater. Let's see what they call that. 1-1. Very well hit. Way back there. Look out. Back. It is high off the wall. It is not a home run.
Oh, yes, it is. It's a home run, Jeff. Yes.
Wait a minute.
It hit
goes
the
into
collar.
his home run trot, and I guess it hit the yellow part, and that's it.
It hit the pillar, Jack, high above the yellow marking. And the first base umpire, Tater, called it immediately.
Oh, boy. Keith Hernandez now has his 11th home run. Watch this again.
Watch the pillar right above Martin's head as he goes back to the wall. He leaps. Martin leaps, but it hits the pillar right at the white spot. There it is.
There
Hit the right there, and then rebounds back in.
That's a well-hit ball to center. Tony Scott chasing over for it. He's got it. There, he got pretty good wood on that one. Great in their day. There's a line shot, right field. It is caught by George Hendrick. He held the ball and dropped the cap. And that,
if either here, with Buckner due as the batter with a runner at third and 2 away. And Figueroa is on deck, so they bring the lefty in. Urea is gone. Urea pitched 2 2/3, 1 hit. The runner at third's his.
The lefty is Hood.
8th inning after 2 away, and you take a look at the style. Hood is appearing in his 25th game, all but 4 of those in relief. Good ERA. Come up empty. Here's the 2-0 to Billy Buck. A high fly ball, right field, pretty well hit, but it's not going to carry just short of the track. So the wild pitch helped, fellow.
Pitch hitting for Cardinal pitcher Don Hood. Number 10, Leon Durham.
Leon Durham batting .250, 5 homers, 22 runs batted in. Bouncer to Kelleher, who just, oh no, that's Tyson. Kelleher's playing third. So Tyson, who had made 2 unbelievable plays earlier in the game, boots the ball, hit right at him. Remember the acrobatics he did earlier on Oberkfell and Orridge? Now here's a ball that looks to be hit right at him, and it hits off the heel of his glove, and he can't. He's a little like the girl with the curl in the middle of her forehead. There's a line drive into right center. That's got overspin. It'll take off and go to the wall. Durham will be waived. Templeton will end up at third with a triple. So the error on Tyson hurt. Pitch was away, and he still jerked it. Triple and an RBI. That's hit number 7 for the Cardinals. Templeton has 3 of them. There he is standing. Suter is running in. It started with Durham as a pinch hitter, and he reached on an error on Tyson on a ball hit right at him. When you figure this game out, you'll be able to write a book. Almost hit one out to the opposite side, but Buckner caught it on the edge of the left center field warning track. Then Templeton tripled through the gap in right center. That was the knockout put out of this situation with a runner at third and only 1 out, and he just struck out Scott. Now the sacrifice fly is no longer a little looping liner and a base hit, and it's 5-4. He fought off a pitch in on his fist. The tying run is on for the Cardinals.
Well, Milo, coming up now, one of those confrontations. It's a good ticket seller. One of the great hitters in the game, Simmons, against one of the great pitchers, Suter, with the game on the line. Strike. There's the runner going for second, and he is out. Hit and run. Wanted to start with. And here's Kennedy's shot. And Phillips lets him slide right into it. Very high pop-up out back to second base. Who wants this one? It's Templeton. And that takes care of that. No runs, no hits, an error, nobody left.
Good treatment on his back just before that.
Got him. Oh, he went for a low pitch. By Durham, who can hit that ball. There's a fly ball to left field. Racing over for it is Buckner. The catch. The ball skips on past him. Oberkfell is racing for third, and he is in there, standing up. Just as Hendricks had 5 after this one. Can't handle it. It slipped on past him, went to the wall, winds up 3 bases for Oberkfell. That's his 4th triple this year. Here's a brave effort by Buckner. He just can't make the catch. Now, the batter is Durham. Leon Durham, a 3-2. 2-1. High outside. Ball 3, strike 1.
for the Bob Burns Testimonial Roast. I'd like to call to the microphone Mr. Whitey Herzog.
Thank you, Bill. Yeah, I have a hell of a job. It's January, February. I don't know. What is it?
I think it's February, yes.
I haven't been fired yet. I go to the Missouri Athletic Club. I hope your trades work out, Whitey. I go last night to a Catholic church. They say, well, we sure hope everything works out, Whitey. You got to win. Hey, wait a minute. We ain't won here in 12 years, so who gives a damn what the hell we did this year? Bob Burns, a bench warmer.
Whitey, speak up.
I can't. Well, maybe it's off, yeah. Bob Burns, a bench warmer. I grew up 35 miles from St. Louis. Bob Burns became the bench warmer in 1945. I started carrying the Globe Democrat in 1945, and I carried the Globe Democrat 7 days a week for 4 years. 3 days before I became a professional baseball player, I quit carrying the Globe Democrat. I had teachers in high school didn't think I could read. But I'll tell you one damn thing, I could get the sports page out and I knew what was going on. And I would open up and I'd see Bob Burns' picture. God almighty ugly. Adele, you're a saint, I'll tell you that. Jesus Christ, you're a saint. Kathy, you don't believe what the hell I put up with for 6 years. Bob Burns. 1 month ago, he came over to the Darrell Porter press conference. He was going to roast my ass. I'll tell you that. He was going to roast me. How in the hell could I trade Simmons and Vukovic and Fingers for them guys I got? He was after my ass. I'll tell you that. He was. I loved it. I love that, because the one thing I love about being a baseball manager is, and I don't think anybody that's ever played the game realizes the greatest skill you can have is being a manager. I love being a manager. I don't think anybody really realized. I was a horseshit player. Very bad. For me to become a big league baseball manager is almost a miracle. And now I'm in St. Louis after getting fired in Kansas City. And I got guys like Bob Ray, Bob Burns, a lot of other people that are very good people. And here I am, and everybody says, boy, you better win this year. I say, it's really something. I got to win this year? What the hell happened to the other 12 guys that didn't win? I've got to win, huh? The funny thing is I'm going to win. I'm not going to promise you people I'm going to win it all, but I'm going to be there. I'm going to be close, man. I'm going to tell you, I am. We're going to have a hell of a year, the Cardinals are. I think everything falls into place. And I'm not talking about Jim Hannafin. The Steamers have won. The Blues have won. I love it. The Cardinals will win. The baseball Cardinals will win. And next fall, the football Cardinals will win.
Yeah.
But I want to thank you people, and give me a chance. We're going to be tough. And I know Bob Burns and Bob Ray will give me a chance, and just give me a chance, because Teddy Simmons is gone. Darrell Porter. The motto of the Cardinals this year is, they put out this brochure. It says it's in the cards. The motto of the Cardinals this year is, "Go Porter, go."
Thank you, Bill.
I think I shall always remember this date, February 16th, as one of the dullest evenings I have ever spent in my life. Congratulations, Mr. Baumann, on proving you can read a proclamation. Mr. Kerner, I'm happy that you're happy. Another chance, Doc Eberhardt, to practice your English. Thank you, Bob Bragg, for your history lesson. Whitey will give you one more chance. Everybody talking about selling papers. Hell, I was a rich kid. I used to give them away. Emil, you were terrific. I got frostbite listening to you. But don't expect too much of me, folks. You never expected that much of Bob Burns. So here on an evening when you are, quote, honoring Bob Burns, unquote, don't expect too much of me. What do you think of when you think of Bob Burns? You think of something lying in the mud in your driveway. Which is the way Adele has found him many times. We are here to honor the Duke of Nod. I would rather be speaking at a Cub Scout blue and gold banquet. What a waste of time this is. May I see the hands of those who would like to walk outside, start over, come in and have 10 more drinks to try to put up with all of this. Half of it he hasn't understood. The other half he'll be asleep. When you get a group that includes Monsignor Meyer and Steve Miserati, an MSGR and a PLO, you know that you're honoring a man who has no standards whatsoever. The rest of us fit in between those two, and you can pick whatever side you would like to go to. And it's really difficult to talk underneath this picture, which was taken when Bob had the biggest smile of his life the day he passed his kidney stone. I cannot believe the phonies who've been at this microphone thus far this evening. They tell me that when Bob was younger, he was known as a swinger, which meant that he wore bib overalls and no shorts. Today, if he wore bib overalls and no shorts, he'd be known as a plugger. Turns out that come June, Adele and Bob will be celebrating 40 years of married life. That's according to daughter Pat, who is already 40. It seems that the Lord allowed these two people to be married so that two people would be miserable rather than four. You didn't think you were going to get away unscathed here this evening, did you, Adele? What an evening. Bob is 66 years old. That presents one problem. When he dies, how will we know when he's dead? A $20 ticket for this dinner, which was catered by the Chase, a leftover from the Elks banquet, which was not held. $8 to the CBC for hitchhiking scholarships, $8 to the Jesuit Center, $4 for the meal, a nickel of which went for the program. Put that in your memoirs, folks. Press that in your book of memorabilia. Isn't that beautiful? 5 words are misspelled. What a night for the waiters and bartenders here at Ruggieri's. a real bonanza. The biggest night they've had since the repeal of Prohibition. There is more money in the tip jars than there is in the cash register. We're here to honor a gentleman who dresses... You surprised me tonight. Dresses like a flood victim. His trousers don't move until he takes 3 steps. And it's a fact that his wife sent a care package overseas. And 8 people lived 3 days off the food from one necktie from Bob. On Ash Wednesday, his clothes provide all the ashes for the Catholic Archdiocese. But he has the answers. He doesn't always know, but he has the answers. He's overweight because he swallows the ends of most of his sentences. Has a mind like a mirror. Takes in everything and gets everything backwards. Spoke to a jockey convention the other day, got a standing ovation and didn't even know it. Drinks Ovaltine with his dinner, so he'll be asleep when the check comes. He's been coming here since 1941. Unbeknownst to you, Bob, the waiters have saved every tip you have given for 40 years. And when this program is over, they have taken all the money and they're going to give you a Bic. I would like to say something nice about you, but I can't. There's plenty of time, but I simply can't do it. I must say in closing, the 5 most enjoyable words I have ever read in the Globe Democrat are, Bob Burns is on vacation.